Radhe Radhe. So, as I said yesterday, we are very fortunate to have Swami Maheshwaranand Ji here and give us all his wisdom and all his devotion to us, how to do the devotion, all this series. So I'm not going to go into his introduction today, but I request all of you to please listen to his discourse very attentively and kindly switch off your phone. And now, as a token of our respect to Swami Maheshwaranand Ji, I request Anup Shah to offer him a garland. And please, those who are doing darshan, they should all sit down.
लाडली लाल की जय। अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहा दावाग्निर्वापनम् श्रेयः कैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणम् विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दाम्बुधिवर्धनम् प्रतिपदम् पूर्णामृता स्वादनम् सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम्। नमः कमलनाभाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमलपादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तद्ध्वं देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। बोले राधा कृष्ण भगवान की जय, श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। Dearest devotees of the Supreme Lord, the divine souls, first let me say Radhe Radhe to each and everyone, and my pranam, my humblest prostrations to all of you. As is customary, we will first chant the name of the Lord, the divine name of the Supreme Lord, for a few minutes to get our mind attuned, to bring our concentration fully here, and then we listen to some talk to help us uplift ourselves spiritually. As we chant the divine name of the Supreme Lord, let's try to meditate on His divine form. We should not chant just as a parrot. God is so merciful that He's taken all His power and put in the name. Nija Sarva Shaktis. He's taken all the power and put in the name. He's sitting in the name. We don't benefit because we don't have that belief. So let us try to practice. Try to feel, have the faith that there is no difference between Shri Krishna, Radha Rani and the name. They are sitting in the name. Let's meditate on the divine Lord, feel His presence as we chant His divine name. Bhajo Giridhar Govinda Gopala. 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 Bhajo Giridhar Govind Gopala Rasheshwari Radha Rani ki jai, Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai, Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai. अब सावधान हो जाइए. Now let us try to be very attentive and listen very carefully. Last night we heard of the importance of bhakti, the path called bhakti. We saw there are mainly three paths to knowing God. Our ultimate aim in life is to attain true happiness, true peace, true bliss. Everything we do in the world, it is only for one thing. We are searching for that happiness. We have not found it, not even the tiniest drop. Even once, even in dream. Because we have been looking in the wrong place. In the material world. We saw the reason for this is ignorance. We have forgotten who we are. That we are the soul Atma. We have been identifying with the material body from beginningless time. And the reason for that, we're told, was Maya. There's a power of Shri Krishna known as Maya, which has made us forgotten who we are. And is the cause of all our pain and suffering in this world. In order to become free from Maya, we were told that we have to know God, we have to know Shri Krishna. And we saw there's only one path, one marg, one path. The path of bhakti, the path of loving God, devotion. We saw that Shri Krishna himself is saying to Uddhav, Yogastrayo mayo prokta nirninam shreyo vidhit sama jnanam karmata bhaktischa nopayonyosti kutrachit. Bhagavad Mahapuran 11 Canto 20th chapter 6 verse. Shri Krishna is saying that there are only three paths to knowing Him, attaining Him. The path of Gyan, the path of knowledge, the path of karma, Vedic rites and rituals, Varnashram Dharma, and the path of bhakti, the path of devotion, love in God. We saw but there's a path of Gyan, Karma, and we have heard about a path called Yoga. And there could be other paths also, either a combination of these three or subsection. They will give something, any path. But as far as becoming free from Maya and knowing God, knowing Shri Krishna, attaining Shri Krishna, only one path, bhakti. The path of loving Shri Krishna, Radha Krishna selflessly. So we have to do bhakti now. Prabhupada Maharaj, on being questioned by Videhanimi in Bhagavad Mahapuran, says, Bhaktya sanjataya bhaktya vibhratyut pulakantanum. 11 Canto, 3rd chapter, 31st verse. Prabhupada Maharaj, one of the 9 Yogeshwars, says to Videhanimi, we have to do bhakti to get bhakti. One bhakti we have to do, sadhana bhakti, preparatory devotion. And one bhakti we are going to get, siddha bhakti, perfect devotion. So we don't have to worry about siddha bhakti. That will be given to us through the grace of a rasic saint, one who has attained that divine love bliss of Radha Krishna himself. We have to do sadhana bhakti. Why? Nirmal man jana so mohi pava mohi kapat chal chidra na bhava. In the Ramayana, Bhagwan Shri Ram is saying to Sugriv, hey Sugriv, only those who are pure in heart, pure mind, nirmal man, can know me, see me, attain me. I cannot tolerate deception, deceit, fraud. Everything we do spiritually, whether it's Gyan, whether it's Karma, whether it's Yoga, whether it's Bhakti, Yagna, whatever we do, the ultimate aim of all spiritual activity is to make the heart, the mind pure. This is God's condition for knowing Him, attaining Him. How are we going to make the heart, the mind pure? So Bhagavan himself gives the answer. He says to Uddhav, his most intimate friend, Uddhav is none different from Shri Krishna himself. Bhagavan Krishna is saying to Uddhav, Yathagnina he mamalam jahati Dhmatam punah svam bhajate charupam Atma cha karmanushayam vidhuya mad bhakti yogena bhajatyatho mam. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 14 Chapter, 25th verse. Bhagavan Krishna says, Uddhav, just as gold, when heated in fire, becomes purified of its dirt, impurities, glows and attains its pure form, in the same way, only when one sheds tears of selfless love, Nishkam prem, selfless love for God, for Shri Krishna, is the heart, the mind purified. Shri Krishna, in order to make the point even stronger, so this is 11 Canto, 14 Chapter, 25th verse. In the next verse, he says, Yatha yathatma parimrijyate sau mad punya gatha shravana bhidhanai tatha tatha pashyati vastu sukshmam chakshur yathaivan janasam prayuktam. Srimad Bhagavat Mahapuran, 11 Canto, 14th Chapter, 26th verse. Just as how we have diseases in the eyes today, cataract, and that eventually we will not be able to see. In the same way, in ancient times, there were diseases in the eyes also. Nowadays, we have many wonderful medicine, creams, drops, laser, so many medicine. In ancient times, they did not have all this medicine. But they had something much better than any medicine we have today. There was an Ayurvedic medicine known as Anjan. It's not here anymore. Not Kajal. Anjan. Any disease in the eye, and you apply that Anjan, slowly destroys the disease, and we're able to see clearly again. Bhagavan Krishna says, Uddhav, while listening to my divine glories, my divine pastimes, while chanting my divine names and glories, etc., one sheds tears of selfless love for me. Just as when Anjan is applied to the diseased eyes and slowly destroys the disease and we're able to see clearly again, in the same way, while shedding tears of selfless love for Shri Krishna, the heart, the mind is purified. Ek dawa, one medicine. Asu, tears. Tears of selfless love. Without these tears, are bhakti hai nahi. There's no bhakti. Acting. Acting in the world is okay. But acting with Bhagavan, with Guru, this is Nam Aparadh. Tulsidas Ji Maharaj, he seems to be extremely, very angry with people who just worship God mechanically, without any feeling. Tulsidas Ji Maharaj says, He paatahu footahu nayan, ajarahu sutan kehi kaam, dravahi shravahi pulakahi nahi, tulasi sumirat ram. Somebody is chanting the name of Bhagavan, they're doing puja, they're worshipping God. And the heart doesn't melt with love. Dravahi means melt. Doesn't melt with love. that heart should be ripped apart. He fought. Shravahi, tears of love doesn't flow from the eyes. Tears of separation, of union, doesn't flow from the eyes. Futahu nayan, those eyes should be busted. Aur pulakai nahi, pulakai, the pause and the body does not raise on end. Horripilation, goosebump. To jarahu sudan ke hi kaam, that body should be burnt to ashes. In Bhagavad Mahapuran, the exact thing is said. Tadashmasaram hridayam batedam yad grihyamane harinamadheyai navikriyetat yada vikaro netre jalam gataruheshu harsha. Someone is chanting the name of Bhagwan, Harinam, doing puja, worshiping Bhagwan, and the heart doesn't melt with love. The pause and the body does not raise on ends, and tears do not flow from the eyes like a river. Netre jalam. To tadashmasaram hridayam batedam. That heart must be as hard as steel, thunderbolt. So tears, because that's the only thing which is going to make the heart, the mind pure. Uncountable lifetimes of wickedness, sin, impurities is stored in the heart, in the mind, as sanchit pap. And Bhagavan is saying, I want pure heart, nirmal man. So, only by shedding tears, wanting here, very careful. A lot of people say, I cry. A lot of people cry for no reason at all. Someone has died, and some lady is crying that her husband has died. Another lady starts crying who has no idea, has no relation. And you ask the lady, why are you crying? You don't know the person? I'm helping the lady. For no reason. Little things, someone says something, you start crying. Something happened to somebody in the world, you start crying. So some of us, our mind is like a house fly. There's something called makhi. A house fly. That fly will sit in the dirtiest place, in the filth, and it will sit in the best place, in the prasad, on the murti of Bhagwan, on the head of Guruji. So some of us, our heart is like a housefly. We come to satsang, we come to radhamadhavdham, kirtan, bhajan is going on in a nice way. We feel some emotion, we shed some tears. We go in the world, somebody says something to us, even right here. We feel badly, we shed some tears there. Something happened to someone, we shed tears. This is very bad. So there's a makhi and there's a madhumakhi, a honeybee. The honeybee will never sit in the dirty place. It sits only in the sweet smelling flower, only in the sweet place. Our heart has to become like a madhumakhi, like a honeybee. We have to shed tears only for Hari Guru, for Radha Krishna, and the saint. In our case, Sri Maharaj Ji, Jagadguru Dham, Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu. These tears are very valuable. We should not waste them. Look, our mind, our heart can be compared to a dirty piece of rag, cloth. Has been dirty for a long time. Now, if you want to clean that rag, that cloth, you need pure water, clean water, nirmal pani. If we take that dirty cloth and we dip it in a bucket of mud water, grime, what happens? It gets more dirty. So in order to clean that dirty rag, that cloth, we have to clean it in the clean water. Nirmal jal, shuddha pani. What is the nirmal pani, shuddha pani? Hari Guru. Radha Krishna, Guru. When we think favorably, lovingly about Radha Krishna, about Guru, we shed tears for Radha Krishna, Guru, we are washing the dirty cloth of our mind with the pure water. And when we shed tears for the material world, we shed tears because someone says something to us and we feel badly. Something happens to someone in the world and we shed tears. This is taking that dirty cloth of the mind and dipping it into a bucket of dirty water. It gets more dirty. We have to be very careful. Never shed even one tear for the material world. Reserve these tears only for Hari Guru, for the spiritual area. So tears are very important. Now, a sadhak, many of us already know what we are supposed to do, sadhana bhakti. Briefly for the new people. So there are three things, three rules given in the Vedanta Sutra, Brahma Sutra. Number one, asina sambhavat. When we are doing sadhana, this morning we saw Jagadguru Dham Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, Sri Maharaj as we lovingly call him, has told us we have to do Roop Dhyan. Roop means the form, Dhyan means meditate. Meditating on the form of Radha Krishna, on the form of Guru, that is Roop Dhyan. So, in doing Roop Dhyan, sadhana, first thing we have to sit down. How? Like how I'm sitting here. Palti marke, with legs crossed. According to Brahma Sutra, this is the best position for doing sadhana. Sitting with the legs crossed. So can I not do sadhana on the chair? Lying down on the bed? But the problem is when we sit on a chair or we lie on the bed, we get too comfortable, we fall asleep. You have to be alert. Keep the back straight. So the best position, you can do, if you can't really sit on the ground, then sit in a chair. Don't lie down. But according to Brahma Sutra, this is the best position. Second mantra, achalatvacha peksham. Be alert. Keep the back straight, especially in the beginning. The mind is very chanchal, maha chanchal. Chanchalam Madhav Krishna pramati balavaddham tasyam nigaham manye vayuriva stutushkaram. Chapter 6 verse 34 Gita. Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna, control the mind, control the mind. Arjuna says, how to do this? The mind is so strong, turbulent and unyielding, it is more difficult to control the mind than it is to control the wind. Vayuriva sudushkaram. So the mind is mahachanchal, is extremely wayward. Any slackness in posture will cause it to run away, to wander. So we have to be alert. And number 3, dhyanacha. Do dhyan, roop dhyan. And to help in that, we should chant using the bhajan and kirtan written by some saint. Do not use the songs written by worldly people, filmy song, filmy bhajan. Only those written by the saints. Why? Jo kare so hari kare. When someone attains God realization, he becomes a saint. Then whatever he does from that moment onwards, Shri Krishna is doing. Tasmins tajjane bheda bhavat, Narad Bhakti Sutra. Naradji says, there is no difference, not even 0.0001% difference between God, Radha Krishna, and one who's attained God, the saint. And we should not have that difference in our mind. Know them to be one and the same. So, the saint being Radha Krishna personified, when they are writing, this is Radha Krishna themselves writing. Whatever they have written, whatever they have spoken, whatever they do, a saint no longer does anything. Whatever he is doing from that moment onwards, Radha Krishna. So these words written by a saint, it is filled with divine power. Number 1. Number 2, the philosophy is going to be correct. So it's more beneficial. And shed tears. Most important. Some things we have to be very careful. Some precautions. Look, that we have to take. If somebody has diabetes, he's diabetic, and he's taking insulin. So he's taken the insulin, and after taking the insulin, he goes and decides to eat 5 pounds of rasgulla. And you ask, hey, bhaiya, what are you doing? You are diabetic. But I have taken insulin. So now I can eat as much sweet as I want. No. Take the medication for the diabetes, and you have to do the precaution also. Doctor will tell you, no more sweets, no fried food, eat only steam, boiled vegetable, etc. So there are certain precautions while doing sadhana. As a sadhak, there are certain things we have to observe. Shri Maharaj said to us, if we look, you look up in the sky, we see what we call stars. These are all worlds. It is so far away that it just appears as a light to us. And we call it stars. And there's a rule about them. The sun rises a certain time, it sets a certain time, the moon, everything has a rule. If there is no rule about it, all these worlds would clash and the whole world, the whole universe will come to an end. So everything in the universe goes according to rules and regulations. In the same way, because we are sadhak, we are doing raganuga bhakti. There are 2 kinds of bhakti. One is called Vaidhi bhakti, one is called raganuga bhakti. Vaidhi bhakti, the word Vaidhi comes from the word Ved. Ved means Vidhi Nishedh. Vidhi, do like this, do like this, do like this, Vidhi. Nishedh, Don't do like that, don't do like that, prohibited. So in the path of Vaidhi Bhakti, there's a lot of rules and regulations. You have to bathe so many times. You have to observe Ekadashi, you have to observe this, do that. Oh, so everywhere fear. Raganuga Bhakti, one vidhi, one nishedh. One thing we have to always do, and one thing we should never do. One vidhi is, we should always remember Hari Guru. Always remember Radha Krishna and the saint, Shree Maharaj. One nishedh, one thing we should never do. Never forget Hari Guru even for a moment. Never forget Radha Krishna and this true Guru, the saint, even for a moment. That's Raganuga Bhakti. And you may say that, so there's no rules and regulation. Even though we are doing Raganuga Bhakti, yet because we are sadhak, sadhak means one who is doing sadhana, one who is practicing devotion, bhakti. So we are all sadhak. So we have to bind ourselves with certain rules. It's very important in this beginning stage. There are certain rules we have to observe. We have to be very, look, when a plant is very small, you block it around. If you look at people, there are animals, etc., and they put plants in the ground. When the plant is very small, they will put a cage around it, some wire, some fence to protect the plant. But when the plant grows and becomes a tree, a big, powerful tree, then you can even tie an elephant. There's no fear. So we're in the stage of the small plant. We have to be very careful. There are rules and regulations that we have to follow. For example, Jagadguru Shri Kripalu Mahaprabhu, Shri Maharaj Ji says, do not sleep more than 6 hours. A sadhak should not sleep more than 6 hours. And actually, this is for householders, those who are married and have children. If you are single, 5 hours. Sleep is important. We have to sleep. Bhagavan Krishna says to Arjuna in the Gita, Natyashnatas tu yogosti nachaikanta manashnata nachati swapna shilasya jagrato naiva charjuna yuktahara viharyasya yukta swapnavat yogo bhavati dukkha. Chapter 6, verse 16 and 17, Gita. The gist of these two verses, Shri Krishna is saying, one should not sleep too much, nor sleep too little. One should not eat too much, nor eat too little. One should not drink too much, nor drink too little, etc. Anything in excess, or too little, or too much, is dangerous. If you want to be a sadhak, if you want to be a spiritual person, then it's very important. Sleep is important. It is important to keep the body healthy. But when you sleep too much, it brings tamasic qualities into you. You become very lazy, lethargic. It brings tamasic quality. When you sleep too much. Sleep too little, you're going to suffer, you will get sick. So certain amount of sleep is necessary. Guru tells us, if you're married, you have kids, 6 hours. If you're single, 5 hours. We have to be careful of what you eat. Do not eat deep fry, too much spicy. Look, the most important thing is the mind. Everything, all the responsibility lies with the mind. Mana eva manushyanam karnam bandha mokshayo. Brahma Bindu Upanishad, second mantra. The Vedas say, the mind alone, Ev alone, is the cause of bondage as well as liberation. The mind, all the responsibility lies with the mind. This mind is going to take us to Golok, to Bhagwan Shri Radha Krishna. This mind is going to bring us back in this material world, rotating in 8.4 million forms of life. This mind will take us to hell, Narak. The mind alone. So we have to be careful. Now, whatever we eat, it has an effect on the mind. There's a saying in English, you are what you eat. If you want to be a sadhak in the spiritual path, it's important to eat certain types of food, healthy, fresh, wholesome food. Food which will bring health to the body, which will keep the mind energized, will keep the mind in a proper way. There are certain foods are classified. It's not good, not have enough time to go into all the details, but food are classified in different categories: sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. And according to the food, the type of food you eat, so you're going to think. So if we want our mind to be nice and sweet, to think about Shri Krishna, Radha Rani, about Maharaj, then we have to eat the right kind of food. Wholesome. Not too much deep fry. Not food that will cause harm to the body. Tana binu bhajana veda nahi barana. Health is very important. If you are very sick, there's pain in the body, you have temperature 103 degrees, you have fever, you have the flu, and you are sitting and trying to do sadhana, and you are chanting Maha Mantra, instead of saying Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, what's going to happen? High pain, high pain. The mind is going to go in the pain in the body. So health is very important. Exercise. Sri Maharaj Ji, as I mentioned today, many of you saw when he came here in 2005 and 2007, how many times he would be walking around radhamadhavdham. He will go out into the field and walk. How many times? He didn't have to. Divine descension. Bhakti Yoga Rasa Avatar. Descension. Divine descension of divine love bliss. Radha Krishna. He doesn't have to do all of that. But he is Jagadguru. So he had to teach us how important exercise. Exercise. You look at Maharaj's food, very simple, boil. Very simple. Many of us will get his prasad, didn't have much taste. Very simple. He showed us by example. He slept very little. I'm not telling you to sleep like him. He'd go to sleep 9 o'clock and get up 12 o'clock. Radhe! The whole of Mangat. Is Maharaj Ji. So it's important. The next thing is we have to be very important we have not fault finding. Paradosh. Paradosh, very dangerous. To the point, Bhagwan Shri Ram in the Ramayana, he's explaining Navdha Bhakti to a great devotee, Shivir. And he says to Shivir, Ashtam Jatha Labh Santosha Sapne hu nahi Dekhahi Pardosha. O Shivir, the eighth type of devotion is to be contented, whether in gain or loss, whatever happens. Always smile, always be happy. Shri Maharaj would say to us, Muskurate raho. Always don't let anything happen in the world make you get depressed or down. You have Maharaji, what else you have to be worried about? So to be contented, whether in gain or loss, and not even in dream, sapane, not even in dreams, to look at the faults of others, to find faults. Fault finding is one of the most dangerous things a sadhak can do. Look, as long as we are under Maya, everyone is bad. Sab ke sab. As long as we are under Maya, we have not attained God realization, we are all bad. We not like to hear it. Acha nahi lagta. Because of our ego. Our ego doesn't like to, we have this thing called ego, abhiman. That's why we don't like to hear these things. But it's a fact. Uncountable lifetime of wickedness, sin, impurities is stored in the heart and the mind. Every moment we're thinking wrong things. So everyone is bad. But how does it benefit me by looking at how bad someone else is? As Shri Maharaj would say, somebody is missing a piece of nose, nakata. And he sees another person who's missing a piece of nose, he doesn't go and tease that person, hey, you nakata! No, I'm also nakata. In the same way, you're bad, I am bad. How does it benefit me by looking at how bad you are? First, to begin by looking and finding faults, seeing the faults of others is proof. This siddh ho gaya, it is proof how bad I am. That's how I'm able to find faults. Number one. Number two, when we look at the faults of others, what happens? We bring it and we add more faults in us ourselves. We are already so bad, we are filled with so many faults. What are we doing by looking at the faults of others? We are bringing more inside. I don't have enough, bring some more. And that's why it's so dangerous, this thing called fault finding. If you say, I can't help it but find faults, then let's look at our own. It's hard. Our ego doesn't allow us to see how bad we are. Kag Basund Ji says to Guru Ji, Manas Rog कछुक मैं गाए है सबके लखी बिरल नहीं पाए. There's a very famous katha in the Ramayana, Sapta Prashna. Guruji asks 7 important questions to Kag Basundaji Maharaj. One of the questions was Manas Rog, diseases of the mind. And he told many. Greed, anger, jealousy, hatred, lust, selfishness, many. And he says, Hey Guruji, I have told you only a few. Kachukha my guy. There are many, many diseases of the mind. As long as we are under Maya, everyone has all of them. All. But lucky bidalan hi paaye. It is extremely difficult for the worldly soul to see our own faults, how bad we are. And what prevents us from seeing how bad we are? That thing we call ego, pride, abhiman. It will not allow us to see how bad we are. We can see how bad everybody else is. She's like this and he is like that. And you? I'm okay. Everybody feels, I am the best, I am good. This is the more we think I am the best, I am good, I am okay. It means our ego is so big. So big. The day we can start feeling that I am the lowest of the low, I am the most sinful, the most fallen. Patito se bhi patito. Then know that Guru has showered his grace upon us. Otherwise, it's extremely difficult. Being governed by this ego or intellect, it wouldn't allow us to see the reality of our own self. We have to realize it, practice. So we should stop finding faults, looking at the faults of others. Do not have negative feelings in the heart and the mind. Look, our mind, there's something called Maun, wax. Maun, wax. If you take a piece of wax and you melt it, and then you take some color and you add it into the melted wax and let it cool down, the color becomes one with the wax. Now the wax challenges the color, get out of me if you can. And the color also challenges the wax, get rid of me if you can. They have become one. In the same way, our mind is like that wax. There are two things. One is rag, one is dvesh. One is love, one is hate. One is thinking lovingly, attachment in the world. One is having negative feeling, enmity. Both are dangerous. Whether we love the world, we have love and feeling for any person or object in the world, or we have hateful feeling, negative feeling. Both are dangerous. The way of practice is the same, the method is the same, and the result is the same. What happens? Our heart melts, and we get the fruit of that for which the heart melts. We think, people in the world generally think, I don't love anyone, I don't have attachment for anyone, I'm alright. But I hate this girl, I hate that boy, I hate... Ooh. And we think it's okay. No, it's as dangerous as love. Rag, dvesh, both are dangerous. A sadhak, udasina rahu. We have to be neutral. Have neither negative feeling nor positive. We have only one heart, one mind. That has to be reserved for Hari Guru. Any attachment in there, whether negative or positive, Radha Krishna is not going to come. Guru is not going to come. Maharaj will say, Saaf drawing room. Living room ko say, Sab kachra nikal. Take out all the rubbish from the living room, the drawing room. In other words, take out all the attachment, negative as well as positive. And then Hari Guru is going to come. So we have to be very careful. Do not have negative feeling also. That also touches the mind. Both are dangerous. We have to be very careful. So these are some of the things, some of the precautions. As I said, someone is sick, you're diabetic, you're taking insulin, doesn't mean you can go and eat all the sweet you want, all the ice cream and the cake and the chocolate. No, you have to take precaution also, even though you're taking the medicine. So the medicine is sadhana. We're sitting, doing Rup Dhyan, meditating on Radha Krishna, on Maharaj Ji, that this is medicine. Yes, dawa hai, this sadhana, we're shedding tears. Do not now go and destroy it by thinking negative thoughts, by doing kusang, bad association. We have to be careful also. We have 5 sense organs, shabd, sparsha, rupa, rasa, gandh. 5, shabd, what we hear, sparsh, what we feel, touch, Roop, what we see, ras, what we taste, gandh, what we smell. 5. Any of this, anything which takes our mind away from Hari Guru, whether it's what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, what we touch, any of these 5, anything which takes the mind away from Hari Guru is kusang, bad association. Be very careful. If you want to progress, if we want to progress, then we have to be careful. So these are some of the precautions. There are much more, but time is of the essence. I don't want to go over time. We have a very important, I think, video to show to you also. So please don't leave and run away as soon as I'm finished. Right? We have very important video for everyone to see. So I don't want to go over time. So yes, take the medicine. We have a disease, manas rog. Rog means disease, manas means the mind. Our mind is disease. We have to make it pure. We have to cure the mind by doing sadhana, by shedding tears of selfless love for Radha Krishna. Along with that, and even more important, we have to do precaution also. Right? This is very important. Don't only take the medicine and think I can do all that. And instead of going forward, we'll be going backward. So the precaution is also parhej. As you say in Hindi, parhej. Dawa ke saath parhej. Right? We have to do precaution. This is also very, very important. There's much more. We will hear another time. Bole Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Rasheshwari Radha Rani ki jai. Srimad Sadguru Sarkar ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Jai Jai Shri Radhe.
में मौन शब्द का अर्थ है इंद्रिय मन बुद्धि पर कंट्रोल, अर्थात नियंत्रण, वशीकरण। मौनमात्म विनिग्रह में मौन शब्द का अर्थ लिखा है आत्मनिग्रह, यानी हम मन के वश में न हो, मन हमारे वश में हो। ये सारांश, वो असली मौन है। और स्पष्ट समझो, श्यामा श्याम एवं उनके नाम रूप लीला गुण धाम और संत इतने को छोड़कर और कहीं भी मन का लगाव न हो, उसका नाम मौन। मौन का मतलब ये न लगा लेना कि संसार में भी लगाव न हो, भगवान में भी लगाव न हो, ऐसा होता है मौन। ऐसा मौन नहीं होता। मन का स्वभाव है नहीं कश्चित क्षणमपि जाति सत्य कर्म, वो प्रतिक्षण कुछ न कुछ वर्क करता, कर्म करता है। अतएव यदि ईश्वर में मन न रहेगा तो संसार में अवश्य रहेगा। भले ही हम इसको रीड न कर पावे, हम समझ न पावे, किंतु इन दोनों क्षेत्रों में कहीं न कहीं मन अवश्य रहेगा। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता है कि मन पेंडिंग में पड़ा रहे। कोई ऐसा कहे हमारा मन भगवान में नहीं लगता, हमारा मन संसार में भी नहीं लगता, हम तो ऐसे ही बीच में लटके हैं। आप लोग बोलते हैं ऐसा, किंतु ये गलत बोलते हैं। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता, अननेचुरल। तो वास्तविक मौन है कि संसार से इंद्रियों का लगाव हट करके और श्यामा श्याम में लग जाए, ये असली मौन है। लेकिन ये सहसा नहीं हो सकता। इसके लिए अभ्यास और वैराग्य से, अभ्यास और वैराग्य से होगा। अभ्यास माने भगवान में मन लगाना और वैराग्य माने संसार से मन को हटाना। तो संसार से हटाया, भगवान में लगाया, संसार से हटाया, भगवान में लगाया, ये बार बार अभ्यास करना होगा। तो इस अभ्यास करने में आप लोगों को जो साधना बताई गई है कि भगवान का रूप ध्यान करते हुए उनके नाम रूप लीला गुण धाम का संकीर्तन करो, तो इस के साथ साथ ये जो बहिरंग मौन का नियम बनाया है मैंने, बहिरंग मौन अर्थात वाणी का मौन, इसका भी विशेष लाभ है। असली लाभ तो मन के मौन से है, कुछ लाभ इस मौन से भी है। सबसे मोटा लाभ तो यही है कि हमारी जो आदत है, प्रैक्टिस है, बोलते रहने की। और क्या बोलते रहने की? इसमें हमारा इंटरेस्ट होता है। किसमें इंटरेस्ट होता है? राग और द्वेष, इन्हीं दोनों में हमने अभ्यास किया है सारे जीवन। कहीं संसारी प्यार की बात करेंगे, कहीं संसारी द्वेष की बात करेंगे, शत्रु की बात करेंगे या मित्र की बात करेंगे। तीसरी कोई बात हम कर ही नहीं सकते। हमारी बिना रुचि के हम कोई बात कैसे करेंगे? या तो अपने मित्र की बात करेंगे, अपने प्रिय की बात करेंगे, स्त्री पति बाप बेटे सखा सखी, और या तो शत्रु की बात करेंगे क्योंकि उसका टेंशन है हमारी खोपड़ी में। तो चूंकि मित्र और शत्रु की ही बात हम करते हैं, इसलिए बात न करने से यानी बहिरंग मौन से ये पहला लाभ हो गया कि वो मित्र और शत्रु की बात हम नहीं करेंगे। ये बच गए हो, क्योंकि बात करने के पहले हमको चिंतन करना पड़ता है। इस पॉइंट पर ध्यान दो। हम कोई भी बात करते हैं तो पहले चिंतन होता है, संकल्प होता है, प्लानिंग होती है मन में, उसके बाद फिर शब्द रचना होती है। जैसे हमने किसी से बात की, क्यों भाई तो रमेश का क्या हाल है, तो ये वाक्य बोलने के पहले हमने रमेश का चिंतन किया और ये भी प्लान बनाया कि उसके बारे में जानना जरूरी है, क्योंकि वो हमारा प्रिय है और ये वहां से आया है जबलपुर से, इसलिए इस जबलपुर से आए हुए व्यक्ति से जबलपुर के रहने वाले मेरे प्रिय रमेश के बारे में पूछना आवश्यक है। ये प्लान पहले मन से बन गया, इसके बाद हमने ये सेंटेंस कहा, रमेश का क्या हाल है, नहीं वो बीमार था उसका क्या हाल है। तो देखो बोलने के पहले हमारा मन भी संलग्न हो गया, बिना मन के संलग्न हुए हम कुछ बोल ही नहीं सकते। अरे गाखा गाखा शब्द और वाक्य का जब निर्माण करेंगे तब भी मन की और बुद्धि की आवश्यकता होगी। तो आपका मन बुद्धि निरर्थक बातचीत में यानी संसारी मामले में व्यस्त हो गया बात करने के पहले, और उसी मन को भगवान में लगाना है। लोग लॉस हो गया ना आपका, ये नुकसान हो गया। जितनी भी बात संसार में आप करेंगे पहले मन को वहां ले जाना पड़ेगा और ये नुकसान आपका प्रत्यक्ष हो गया। जितनी कम बात करेंगे उतने मन को वहां लेने जाना पड़ेगा, ये लाभ पैदा होगा। सबसे बड़ा लाभ तो मन का बचाव है ना, मन को बचाना है, संसार में कम से कम ले जाना है, जो बहुत आवश्यक काम है, बहुत सीरियस है, जरूरी है, बस उतने ही मामलों में हमें मन को संसार के क्षेत्र में ले जाना है, वो भी उदासीन हो करके, ड्यूटी समझ करके। इसलिए यदि हम कम से कम मन ले जाने की सोचेंगे तो संसार संबंधी बात भी कम से कम करनी होगी, क्योंकि बात तो तभी होगी जब हमारा मन संसार में पहले जाएगा तो हम ले जाएंगे। तो कम बात करने का या बात न करने का, मौन रहने का सबसे बड़ा लाभ तो यही हो गया कि हमने अपने मन को भी बचा लिया इंद्रियों के साथ साथ। और जब मन बच गया तो फिर तमाम बातें बन गई हमारी, क्योंकि उपासना मन से ही तो करना है। दूसरी बात, हम जब बोलते हैं तो उसका प्रभाव दूसरे पर पड़ता है, जिससे हम बात करते हैं के ऊपर भी प्रभाव पड़ता है हमारी बात का। अगर हम संसारी बात करेंगे तो वो बेचारा अच्छा खासा भगवान के चिंतन में लगा हुआ था, गंदी बातें नहीं सोच रहा था, और हमने उससे संसार की बात की, क्यों भाई तुम्हारे बेटे का क्या हाल है, बीमार था, तो बाप तो बेटे का चिंतन नहीं कर रहा था, हमारी बात सुनकर वो भी करने लगा, हमने उसका भी बिगाड़ा कर दिया, उसका भी सत्यानाश किया, अपना भी किया ही। और चूंकि उस बाप को अपने बेटे में आसक्ति है इसलिए उसने और बात छेड़ दी। वो ऐसा है कि वो डॉक्टर के पास ले गए थे, उसने कहा कैंसर है, दूसरे डॉक्टर के पास ले गए, उसने कहा कैंसर नहीं है, वो लंबा चौड़ा लेक्चर देने लगा। अब आप सुनिए बैठ के उसको, और अब आपका चिंतन शुरू होगा, जो कुछ वो बोलेगा उसमें बुद्धि लगाएंगे आप, मन लगाएंगे आप, तब तो समझेंगे किसी के वाक्य को। किसी के वाक्य को समझने में कान नहीं समर्थ है, देखने में आंख समर्थ नहीं है, तो मन बुद्धि जब प्लस होता है तब आप कुछ देखते हैं, कुछ सुनते हैं, कुछ सूंघते हैं, कुछ रस लेते हैं, कुछ बोलते हैं, चलते हैं, हाथ पैर हिलाते हैं, सब में मन बुद्धि की आवश्यकता होती है। बिना मन बुद्धि के इंद्रियां अपने आप कर्म नहीं कर सकती। ये चैतन्य तो है, लेकिन मन बुद्धि के बिना ये जड़ के समान है। तो आपने जब बात की तो पहले तो आपका मन खराब हुआ, संसार में गया, फिर बात करने के बाद जिसने सुना उसको भी संसार में मन ले जाना पड़ा, क्योंकि उसका भी अभ्यास है, अपने आप चला जाता है, उसकी हिम्मत नहीं पड़ती, कुछ तो अटैचमेंट के कारण, कुछ एटिकेट के कारण। अरे भाई मनगढ़ में आए हो, अरे भाई वृंदावन में आए हो, यहाँ ये फालतू बात क्या लेके बैठ गए? आपका बेटा कैसा है, बेटी कैसी है, जैसे है अपना है ठीक है। यहाँ तो भगवान की बात करो। ये बोलना चाहिए आप लोगों को अगर कोई संसारी बात प्रारंभ करे तो, लेकिन आपकी हिम्मत नहीं, आप खूब कमजोर है, इसलिए आप कहते हैं कि ये कर रहा है, बेवकूफ है, करने दो। वो करने वाला जितना बेवकूफ है, ठीक उतना ही सुनने वाला बेवकूफ होता है, क्योंकि दोनों का नुकसान बराबर बराबर हो रहा है। तो सुनने वाले को नहीं सुनना चाहिए, प्रयास करना चाहिए कि देखिए साहब, कम से कम धाम में तो ये सब बातें न करो भाई, यहाँ तो श्यामा श्याम की बात करो। इसी प्रकार जब आप अपने अपने शहरों में जाते हैं, किसी सत्संगी के घर पर जाते हैं, या कोई आपके घर पर आता है, तो वहां भी एक बार जरा कट के बोल दो, सीरियस होके, देखो भाई हमने नियम बना दिया है, कोई सत्संगी हमारे घर में आएगा तो भगवान और गुरु की चर्चा करेगा, ये आज से नियम बना दिया हमने। तो जान लेगा जब, तो या तो भगवान की चर्चा करने आएगा, या तो आएगा ही नहीं कि भाई ये तो वैसा बाबा जी हो गया है, तो भगवान की चर्चा करने को कहता है, इसके पास क्या जाओ पाते हैं, तो ज्ञापन को तो गप करने का शौक है, तो वो बच गया बेचारा। अरे एक बार मान लो कोई बुलबुला जाएगा, बड़बड़ाएगा, अरे बड़े भक्त आए हैं, कहते हैं भगवान की चर्चा हमारे यहाँ किया करो, ठीक है एक बार तक अपना तो फायदा हो गया हमेशा के लिए। अब वो नहीं आएगा संसारी बात करने, और अगर आएगा तो इसके दिमाग में उसका माथा ठनकेगा, अरे इसने कहा था उस दिन सीरियस होकर के कि देखो भाई हमने प्रतिज्ञा कर दी है, हम कोई बात सुनेंगे नहीं, आप भगवान की बात करना हो तो आप हमारे यहाँ आइए, बैठिए, सत्संग कीजिए। तो संसार की बात करना है अगर, तो भाई ठीक है, उसके लिए और संसार पड़ा होता है। हाँ, कोई ऐसी परमावश्यक बात हो, अरे भाई शर्मा जी जरा आपकी कुर्सी चाहिए, एक सेंटेंस में, अब भाई कुर्सी तो हम नहीं देते हैं, या ले जाओ कुर्सी, खत्म, एक वाक्य में बात खत्म। लेकिन निरर्थक बातें जो आप लोग करते हैं, रमेश ऐसा है, सुरेश ऐसा है, नीलम ऐसी है, सरोज ऐसा ही ऐसी है, ये तो गंदी गंदी बातें आप लोग एक दूसरे का रागत द्वेष की किया करते हैं सत्संगी लोग मिलकर, तो दोनों का बराबर बराबर नुकसान होता है। तो इस प्रकार अगर आप लोग धाम के अलावा अपने घरों में भी सावधान हो जाएं, बात तो संसार की जहां तक हो सके न करें। हम ये नहीं कहते कि आप कंप्लीट मौन हो जाएं, लेकिन निरर्थक बात को बढ़ाना। अभी यहीं पर कोई एक आदमी एक बात छेड़ दे, अरे भाई वो रात को उनको आज भूत दिखाई पड़ा था, अब दूसरा बोलेगा भूत, अरे हाँ मैं एक बार ऐसा गया था, अरे हाँ वो मेरा पड़ोसी है वो कह रहा था, अरे हाँ वो एक भूत झाड़ने वाला आया था, सब बोलने लग जाएंगे अपना अपना अक्षर, उसमें कुछ झूठ भी बोलेंगे, कुछ बढ़ाएंगे, कुछ घटाएंगे, और घंटों वही बातें होती है। सारे संसार में आप लोग यही किया करते होंगे, ऐसा हमारा आइडिया है। टाइम खराब करने पर तुले हुए हैं ना, किसी प्रकार टाइम खत्म हो 6 बजे, हाँ, क्योंकि हमें 6 बजे तक कोई काम नहीं है, इसलिए अनावश्यक बात। और उसके पीछे ये भी हो सकता है कि कोई बात आपके मुंह से निकल जाए, निश्चित निकलेगी, तो सुनने वाले पर बुरा असर पड़े। नंबर 2, वो जिसके लिए आप बात कर रहे हैं और सुनने वाले से आप आशा करते हैं कि ये प्राइवेट रखेगा, क्या पता वो जाके उसको भी बता दे तो दुश्मनी शुरू हो गई, झगड़ा शुरू हो गया, फिर आप कहेंगे तुमने उनसे क्यों बताया, फिर वो झूठ बोलेगा मैंने नहीं बताया, किसी और ने बताया होगा। यानी तमाम क्रांति हमारे देश में विश्व में इसीलिए होती है जो आप किसी को अपना प्राइवेट समझ लेते हैं। कोई किसी का प्राइवेट नहीं है, बीवी भी नहीं, बेटा भी नहीं, माँ भी नहीं, बाप भी नहीं, किसी को प्राइवेट न समझो। अगर तुमने कोई बात किसी से कही तो समझ लो ये बात चली जाएगी, धीरे 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 फैल जाएगी। तो बोलने से इतनी सारी हानियां हुई, और अगर कहीं और बड़ा कांड हुआ, हमने बोल दिया, जैसे हमारे यहाँ कोई आया, उसने कोई गलती की है, और हमने उसको आपके सामने कह दिया, देखिए साहब आपने ऐसी गलती की, ऐसी गलती दोबारा न कीजिएगा। और हमारे कहने का ये रिएक्शन हुआ, उसने कहा कि साहब आप किससे बात कर रहे हैं, या समझ बूझ के बात कीजिए। हमने कहा आपसे कह रहे हैं और किससे कह रहे हैं, जबान खींच लेंगे, तुम्हारे दांत तोड़ देंगे। बस फिर आगे बहुत कुछ हो सकता है, आगे होता है। आप लोगों को पता है बड़े बड़े मर्डर तक हो जाते हैं। और आवश्यक बात, मर्डर के केस करने वाला जब पूछता है पूरे मुकदमे का हाल, तो मालूम होता है शुरुआत कुछ भी नहीं और बात इतनी बढ़ गई। मैं एक बार बांदा जिले में गया था, बांदा शहर में लेक्चर देने के लिए। वहां के एक बहुत बड़े क्रिमिनल के लोकेश से उन्हीं घर पर ठहरा था। तो बता रहे थे एक केस के मामले में कि बांदा जिले में ऐसे लखई लोग हैं, शराबी लोग। एक दो पार्टियां थी ठाकुरों की, उनका मुकदमा चल रहा था कोई जमीन का, जायदाद का। उसमें एक पार्टी जीत गई, कोई न कोई जीते गई। तो जीतने वाली पार्टी का आदमी भी ठाकुर था और हारने वाला भी ठाकुर था, उसी का पट्टीदार था कोई रिश्तेदार। तो धाम को जीतने वाला जा रहा था लेकिन, तो हारने वाले के मकान के सामने से ही रास्ता था। गांव में तो जंगल में जाते ही हैं लेकिन लोग। तो जब उसके घर के सामने से गुजरा तो हारने वाले और उसकी माँ दोनों बैठे हुए थे दरवाजे पर, दुखी होकर कि हमारी प्रॉपर्टी चली गई, अब क्या करना चाहिए। तो उनकी तरफ देखकर जीतने वाले ने अपनी मूछ पे हाथ फेर दिया। मूछ को मरोड़ते हैं ना ठाकुर लोग, तो अपनी मूछ को उसकी ओर दिखा करके, यानी जलाने के लिए उसको, देखो मैं जीत गया, ये करके ऐसे खाली हाथ कर दिया मूछ के ऊपर दिखा करके। माँ को गुस्सा आया, उसने कहा बेटा अगर तूने मेरा दूध पिया है तो आज दिखा दे अपना जौहर। वो जवान लड़का आ गया जो उसमें उठाया, लग गया, मार दिया और मर्डर। वो लेफ्टिंग जा रहा था, वही ढेर हो गया। अब बताओ ये क्या कारण है। कोर्ट पूछती है कि मर्डर कैसे हुआ, वो साहब मूछ हाथ पर कर दिया। अरे तो हमारी मूछ है, हम हाथ पर करेंगे, इसमें हमने कौन सा गुनाह किया। अजी उसकी तरफ देख करके उसने मूछ यो कर दिया, वो क्रोध में अंधा हो गया। भले ही उसको फांसी हो जाए, माँ ने एक वाक्य बोल दिया, माँ न बोलती तो भी मर्डर बच जाता। देखिए बोलने का कितना दुष्परिणाम होता है। मेरा दूध पिया है तो आज मजा चखा दे इसको, कह दिया बात तो जोश में आ गया। तो इसी प्रकार छोटे मोटी बातें तो आपके घरों में रोज होती है, मियाँ बीवी में, बाल बच्चों में। अनावश्यक आप लोग परेशान रहते हैं अपने घरों में केवल जबान के कारण। अगर आप अपने घर में ये संयम कर ले, अपने प्रति बीवी को समझा दे, बच्चों को समझा दे, कम से कम बोलो, तो कल से ही 50% अशांति समाप्त हो जाए, सारे झगड़े समाप्त हो जाए। फिर एक बात ये भी होती है कि कोई एक वाक्य बोल गया जरा कड़ा गलती से, और वो स्वयं महसूस कर रहा है कि मैं ऐसा क्यों बोल गया, लेकिन आपको फीलिंग शुरू हो गई। वो फीलिंग की बीमारी साधना करने लगी। तो 24 घंटे उसने ये कहा, उसने ये कहा, उसने ये कहा, क्या करता है अपने आप, ये देश भर गया आपके अंदर। तो बोलने में तमाम सारी मुसीबतें हैं और मौन रहने में ये सब मुसीबतें खत्म। केवल भीतर भीतर की कार्रवाई रह जाएगी हमको करनी थी। मन का वशीकरण जो करना है, यानी ईश्वर की ओर लगाना है, वही एक काम रह जाएगा। ये डिस्टर्बेंस जो है बोलने के द्वारा आते हैं, ये सब नहीं आएंगे। ये छोटे मोटे लाभ में बता रहा हूँ और बहुत से बड़े बड़े लाभ होते हैं, फिर कभी बताएंगे।